Let's start off with business and immigration law updates. This is a presentation of the Khurana Law Firm, where the Chief Attorney and Counselor at Immigration Law is Mr. Ramesh Khurana. The Khurana Law Firm has recently changed its location. Our congratulations to them. Anyways, to moderate this segment is Attorney Kenneth Haber from Maryland. Today, Attorney Haber questions Attorney Khurana on the many different ways to update a green card in the United States. Let's join these two attorneys in their discussion.
Good morning. My name is Kenneth Haber. I'm a former Assistant United States Attorney and a former Senior Attorney in the Office of Inspector General of the United States Department of Health and Human Services. With me today in our studios is Ramesh Khurana. Welcome, Ramesh.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Ramesh is a very well-known local immigration attorney who has clients across the world, and this is the Capital Forum. Ramesh, you're here to discuss green cards with us today, I understand, and ways of obtaining a green card. Is that correct?
That's right.
Can you please explain the different ways a person can obtain a green card?
Oh, sure. Ken, this is a very wide topic when we are trying to discuss a question like what are the different ways of obtaining green cards. Now, I can tell you the bullet points, and then if time permitting, we can expand them a little bit. First of all, of course, a person can obtain a green card through the family, like you did for your wife. So you can do for your siblings, for brothers and sisters, and for your parents or for your spouses. And second is through employment. You are working with a sponsoring employer. You have to start the process with the PERM application, which is the labor certification process. Then you move on to the filing of I-140 or immigrant petition, then adjustment of status. And third way is through investment. If you are willing to invest $1 million or $500,000 depending upon the area where the project is coming up. And the fourth could be through asylum or as a refugee status. And fifth one is through the diversity lottery visa program. So broadly speaking, these are the 5 different ways which would have further subsections to talk about different programs. Like there is a program for researchers and for people with extraordinary ability. They can do extraordinary ability people, they can do on their own, make an application for green card, and they have to simply show their intent that they will continue to pursue the same occupation once they are granted the green card. Did I answer your question, Ken?
You certainly did. I don't know if we have enough time in the show for all the bullet point expansion, but there are a few extra questions I would like to expand
Oh,
into.
sure. You're most welcome.
Thank you. Who can file for a family member?
Ken, when we are talking about obtaining a green card through the family member, first, of course, you can file for your spouse, and you can file for your parents, and parents can file for their children. So that is under the family program. You cannot file for your nephews and nieces and uncles, aunts. No, you cannot file. And by the way, I would also like to inform the audience, now if immigration reforms do come, and these are probably likely to come this year, there is a proposal that they will do away with the system of allowing siblings to file for their brothers and sisters. Nowhere in the world immigration system allows a person to file for his or her siblings, but it's the United States where you can file for your brothers and sisters. So if one of the proposals is finally approved by the Congress, so this will no longer be available.
I'd be surprised if they get it through, because this country happens to be a family country. You know, we've always cherished family, and you know, I don't think any brother or sister would like to leave their brother or sister behind, but that's beside the
Yeah,
point.
we wish it doesn't happen. You know, as immigration lawyer, I would like that this horizon should expand it further. You know, this is how we work. But unfortunately, this is one of the proposals at this point.
Oh, we'll have to see if it actually
Yeah.
becomes law.
Yeah, that's right.
There'll probably be a lot more pushback on that than concerning other
Yep.
issues. If a parent was visiting a daughter, could she turn around and file when they're on a visitor visa and ask that they be given a green card?
This is a very good question. So the question here is, just to clarify, that a parent is visiting from overseas and the parent is visiting his daughter, let's say. Now, daughter is a US citizen. First of all, this is very important. Now, only a US citizen child can file an immigrant petition for his or her parent. Now, if the daughter is a US citizen, answer is yes. Now, the most important question here is, because you said in your question, the person is coming here as a visitor. If the person is coming here as a visitor, now when that person left his or her country, that person should not be having an intent that when I go to visit my daughter, I'm not going to come back. I will ask my daughter that just file for my green card. I am sick and tired of staying in my home, in my country. I want to enjoy all the benefits of the United States. But your intent was to immigrant and you have to enter here on a visitor visa, then basically you abused the visitor visa. Visitor visa is given when you do not have any immigrant intent. But let us say that you have been here for the last 2 months or more or 3 months and your intent changes. Something happens that family decides, why do you want to go back? There is no other family member left in foreign country. Don't go back, let us all stay together so that family is reunited. And the parent who is visiting, that parent changes his or her mind and they decide, okay, let's do that. And then daughter files for the green card. Now, if it is filed within 30 days, there is a presumption that there was an intent to defraud the system. But if you file within 30 to 60 days, maybe, maybe not. But if you are filing the green card application after 60 days, then presumption probably doesn't hold stick. But if you are filing after 90 days, there is no such presumption. So this is called 30, 60 or 90-day rule. But the answer to your question is yes, daughter can file and parent doesn't have to go back. The daughter can file for adjustment of status and status will be allowed to change if it is approved from visitor visa to green card. And this process may take about 6 months to get a green card.
If a person is coming here as a visitor, then they presumably would have a home or some other residence that they were staying at previously, and they'd still want to maintain that if they're going to convince the government that they weren't planning from the start to go back, I assume. Is that correct?
That's very true. Of course, if they have their home, like they were living independently, it was a good evidence at the point when they applied for a visa or when they came to the country. It goes in their favor to prove that I have not wrapped up my residence abroad. It's still there. Let's say the person was doing some job and that person applied for leave for 3 months, 4 months, and the person has still not resigned or services are not terminated. That person can show as an evidence that my intent was to go back. I still have my job or I still have my health insurance which was provided to me by my employer, and I still have a house which I own or I am renting. And so all this becomes part of the evidence to go to prove that person's intent, that I didn't like to become the green card holder in the first intent. So this will be very helpful.
Very good, very good. Can a person who's on an H-1B visa change their status to a green card holder?
Yes, a person who is on H-1B visa can change the status to a green card holder. There could be 2 ways. One way could be through the family, and second way is to get the green card through employment. Now, let's say that H-1B is working for an H-1B person is working for an employer, and employer decides to file the green card application, which will start from the labor certification process. So, answer is yes, he can change the status. And second is, let's say that the H-1B employee gets married with a US citizen. Now, that US citizen spouse can file for change of status from H-1B to green card. It happens all the times. And the good thing is, when we are talking about change of status from H-1B to green card, now H-1B visa is treated as a dual intent visa. That means the person has an intent to enjoy the non-immigrant status, which is H-1B, and this person has the intent to convert his status into green card. So, there is absolutely no conflict.
Can both of those avenues be pursued, both the family and the employment?
Yes, can. There is absolutely no restriction. In fact, I always advise my client, whatever avenues are available for your change of status, take benefit of that. There are absolutely no limitations. Sometimes one route may work successfully, other route may not work successfully, depending upon what the situation is. So, I always advise my clients, take benefit of the law and apply as per as many avenues as are available to you.
Can a highly educated individual apply for a green card without the support of an employer?
Yes, can. Highly educated employee means holding a PhD degree, and there is a certain criteria, there are certain prongs. The person, let's say, that person has won a Nobel Prize award or some other awards which are of national importance, and person has written few articles and there are citations of those articles, or the person is admitted to certain organization which the membership is available only for people who are highly educated and extraordinary people, or people who are in the high salary bracket. So, there is a 10 in fact there are 10 prongs or 10 criteria, and if you can satisfy 3 of them, you have to persuade the USCIS that I do satisfy at least 3. So, your petition is likely to be approved.
Very good, very good. This has been very informative. I'm sure that the public audience has enjoyed this, and if anyone has any further questions of Ramesh, you can contact him through his website, and that's Rockville, Maryland, or through the studio by giving a call to the studio. Thank you very much for coming in, Ramesh.
Thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate that you invited me here, and it's always a pleasure spending time with you. And last but not the least, I would like to advise the audience, if you have any questions, please get in touch with your immigration attorney so that your answers are answered competently. Thank you so much.